What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and Relyo fans are pissed. Now, there are a lot of different factions in really any fandom. In this case, in the Star Wars fandom, you've got huge cultivation of the new fan, the soy-infused fan, the social justice warrior fans. These are people that you didn't just accidentally let in the door. You openly invited by putting out endless think piece after think piece and endless pandering from everybody in the cast, from TFA to the Rise of Skywalker. Ultimately, we didn't do this to you. You did this to you. And these are the crazy people you get. Now, with any film, I think that you can have, an emotional attachment to it. If it's affecting your life, that's probably unhealthy. I do remember looking back at the previous decade, the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, and how that was probably the last water cooler moment in television that I can remember. Every channel has been looking for an opportunity to create like water cooler television where everybody gets to work on Monday and everybody's talking about it. And if you're not talking about it, you've got serious fear of missing out, and you're upping the $15 a month for HBO. You could say that The Walking Dead early on probably had this, but Star Wars as a movie franchise still has this and hasn't lost it. It's just the sheer magnitude of the franchise is always going to create a lot of narratives and a lot of counter narratives. But over the past 5 years, Disney president Bob Iger, have been actively cultivating this by putting out little teaser pieces that Captain Marvel's the most powerful Avenger ever, and now they're floating out that Scarlet Witch is the most powerful Avenger ever. Where at least that you could maybe add something to it because she is super powerful, just like with the X-Men. Having Jean Grey and wasting all that potential with a horrendously bad movie. But now, over the past 4 or 5 days, there's been a serious uptick in the amount of people that are literally threatening J.J. Abrams and other actors in the film over, the end of Relyo. Here's a perfect example. I'm going to read a few of these because they're just fun. J.J. Abrams, I'm going to end you like you did with Ben. How about, I'm going to end J.J. Abrams with my own hands. I'm ready to end that MFer. At J.J. Abrams, I will find you and I will end you. I can't effing stand how I put my life on the line for The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi just for J.J. Abrams to do this to me. Where does he live? I'm going to literally end him. You put your life on the line for a movie? I mean, dial it back a little bit. This is what I'm talking about with this new fan. It's many people that have a Kylo or a Rey avatar or various other Star Wars avatars, but it's not just a few. They continue. It's official. I'm going to end J.J. Abrams. Obviously, you know what word I'm substituting here. Then you have a lightsaber replying to Disney Plus. What do you want for Christmas? A lightsaber with the Force so I can end J.J. Abrams. Here we see Daniel. Finally see The Rise of Skywalker, and I'm going to end J.J. Abrams with my bare hands. Empty Jewel Pod. I'm going to end J.J. Abrams. Festive and mad at J.J. and Terrio for doing Star Wars dirty. Thinking about doing a deletion. How about just die, J.J. Abrams? Or J.J. Abrams, I'm going to end you. Change their account name to Arrested for the Deletion of One J.J. Abrams. These are not original trilogy fans. You can just see it in their accounts. They're not people in their 30s or late 20s. Not that you can't be an original trilogy fan and be young. It's just, that these people are unhinged. And thank you to Data Racer for putting all this together, because it's just, it's direct threats. A lot of these are tagging in J.J. Abrams. F you, J.J. Abrams, F you. I want to cry, but I can't because I'm at work. All I can say is, F you, J.J. Abrams. That was the first time Ben Solo looked properly alive, and to take it away so quickly after a lifetime of manipulation and cruelty is psychopathic and ridiculous. F you, J.J. Abrams, adding him. What's wrong with you? I barely ate today. It's 2:40 a.m. and I'm not even sleepy. What is wrong with me? Oh my God, you will be hearing from my lawyers, J.J. Abrams. Really? I managed to sleep 5 hours today. The most since last Tuesday. Still crying. Always Relyo. Relyo fans are, I don't know if I can go as far as to say more annoying than Twitter K-pop fans, but they're definitely more unhinged. J.J. Abrams, allow me to ask you what the F you think you were doing. Hey JJ, F you, bring back Ben Solo. Currently feeling very emotional and vulnerable due to the new Star Wars. F you, J.J. Abrams, for making me feel like this. Are these the words of any type of group maybe that you might think of? You know, for all the things. See, when they talk about toxic fandoms, these aren't the fans they're talking about. They're talking about people like the Fandom Menace who at best are unhappy with the way the modern trilogy has gone in Disney, and at worst, at their most toxic, they just meme on the new Star Wars. I mean, that's where I'm at. It's become a meme to me. It's a mess. And if they're going to continue to release a new film every 2 years, I just don't know where they go from here. I think that they're definitely done doing trilogies. I thought that was pretty telling when they came out and said, oh no, we're not going to do any more trilogies for reasons. The real reason is they can't handle a trilogy. They have no idea how to run a series of films for adults. You know, you don't need like a complex understanding of character development when you're making your fourth Toy Story movie. But when you're talking about 30 years of canon and lore with Star Wars, you do. You have to take that all into account. You can't just hire a big name like Abrams or Michael Bay or James Cameron and just expect the movie to be great. What people forget at these studios, I think, is that these big names have way more flops than they have epic films. I mean, yeah, okay, James Cameron has had a few epics in his day, but he's also had a lot of junk. You can see here, Blue, at J.J. Abrams, at Disney. Just y'all think about the standard you're setting for girls. Telling them not to stand up to their abusers. Telling them that men treating them like trash and physically and emotionally harming them is acceptable. F you. Does this sound like an original Star Wars fan to you? Or perhaps a new fan? I went from disbelief to rage, and now I can't stop crying. Every single Skywalker is gone. Merry Christmas. How do these people get on with their lives? And there's just an endless amount of these. They go on and on and on. I love having to wonder if I literally need to alert the authorities to threats against my workplace. Happy holidays, I guess. And that's from Jennifer Heddle. I mean, you're talking about just direct. So as the threat says, Relyo fans are outraged that Kylo Ren dies in Rise of Skywalker. They're sending threats and harassment to J.J. Abrams, cast members, and Lucasfilm employees. The new fan base Lucasfilm has catered to is proving that they're the true toxic fan in Star Wars. I 100% agree. Goes on, there's even more. Relyo fans are going to therapy, not eating, skipping work because they're, quote, traumatized. At the Rise of Skywalker premiere, one left hysterical telling a Star Wars actress to, quote, get hit by a car whore because the actress wouldn't yell at JJ in person. All this over a fictional character. I'm not kidding. And this is exactly the audience you wanted, Disney. You pandered to these people. And this is what you get. Completely mentally unhinged maniacs. The Porg's Nest. I can't even get out of bed. I can't read the comic. It hurts. Why do I feel like I'm in mourning a living person? Mourning a living person. Star Wars, abused kid, does good, then dies. Why, J.J. Abrams? I was abused just like Ben. Do you not understand what that message is to the kids? Wakes up, sees Ben comic, starts crying again. Takes pill. Maybe if I keep sleeping, the heartbreak will stop. I hate you, J.J. Abrams. Ben had no chance, and you ended him. I've never felt so hopeless. I'll never be able to watch him again. What? Yep, Adam even said it in a New York Times interview that Relyo's stalked him, accosted him in a parking lot, and gave him paintings of his dog, and how they made threats against his wife and child. Hope he upped security since they seem to be completely unhinged after Kylo's passing. You could see a Reddit post. Adam Driver is joining Daisy Ridley, calling out creepy Reylos and other stalkers. But Star Wars has made him uncomfortably famous. Quote, this one woman who has been harassing my wife came to the show and gave me a creepy wood carving of that she made of my dog, he said. He and Tucker have a young son whose birth they kept hidden from the press for 2 years, in what Driver called, quote, a military operation. Last fall, after Tucker's sister, who was launching a peacoat business, accidentally made her Instagram account public, and someone noticed the back of his son's head in a picture. Creepy. In this article, I'm 29, she's 32. My friend is a huge fan of a big budget movie you might all have heard of, especially of a guy character. She spent years buying merchandise of him, writing fanfic, posting fan art, and memes. You name it. It's all she will talk about. She has a shrine to him at home, and jokes about him being her ideal husband. She hasn't dated since she was 28, and her last boyfriend left her for someone else. She went to the premiere of the new movie this month, and I went with her, and the guy dies. She stormed out of the theater. I followed her. I thought she'd gotten an urgent text. Nope, she was having a breakdown outside. Absolutely hysterical, in tears, bawling her eyes out and screaming because the guy dies. People looked at us funny. I did my best to comfort her and commiserated, even if I didn't like the character that much. She was furious, and the guy's co-star didn't step in and protest the director's script and cussed the co-star's name out right outside the theater. Later that evening, I saw her tweet the co-star many hateful insults and even wishes for her to, quote, get run over in traffic. Congratulations, Disney. Enjoy your new fans. Hope it was worth it.